Did Paul invent Christianity? This is something we commonly hear, in addition to statements like the following. The Jesus of the Gospels is not the Jesus of Paul's writings. Jesus was initially thought of to be just a man until Paul made him God. Jesus taught we are saved by good deeds, not by faith in him. Paul changed the story. People didn't make a big deal about a possible resurrection of Jesus until Paul came along. Is there any truth to these statements? In many cases, Paul's letters predate the Gospels, yet on a surface level, there are some differences. At times, different focus, different details. Does this mean Paul was off creating his own offshoot of Jesus followers that eventually became the main thing? Through the course of this series, we'll be using a broad-based approach to debunk the common myth that Paul invented Christianity. And the first point we will be looking at is, what did Paul have to gain in gaining Christ and losing everything else? As a starting point, we need to ask why a religious elite with a comfortable life and well-regarded status felt the need to try and invent a new religion. A new religion that would end up getting him jailed, beaten, and ultimately beheaded. In Philippians 3, Paul lists his religious credentials, including things like the following: circumcised from Israel of Benjamin, a Hebrew of Hebrews, a Pharisee in the law, zealous in persecuting the church, and blameless in following the law. But then he declares all of this loss and rubbish compared to knowing Christ. This emphasizes that his life's aim is not status, safety, or comfort, but gaining Christ, being found in him with righteousness that comes by faith, not the law, and, as we see in verse 10 of Philippians 3, knowing Christ, sharing in his sufferings, and attaining salvation. Clement of Rome, writing in approximately 96 AD, said the following: owing to envy, Paul also obtained the reward of patient endurance. After being 7 times thrown into captivity, compelled to flee and stoned, after preaching both in the east and the west, he gained the illustrious reputation due to his faith, having taught righteousness to the whole world, and come to the extreme limit of the west, and suffered martyrdom under the prefects. Thus was he removed from the world and went into the holy place, having proved himself a striking example of patience. And this is in Clement's first epistle to the Corinthians, chapter 5. Origen and Eusebius mention Paul dying of beheading. With all of these things in mind, we have to ask, what did Paul have to gain? At the very least, he genuinely seems to have believed what he preached. At best, he was badly deluded, but not genuinely trying to invent a myth.